This is the Holga HPLN. The N signifies that it has a Nikon mount. It's advertised nearly everywhere as a pinhole lens, but actually that's inaccurate. It has no lens. It just has a very, very small hole, and the hole is 0.25 millimeters. Reviews of this little pinhole tend to focus on the fact that it's not very good. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that it works at all. It's simply a hole to let light through. And students of photography will know that that's the earliest type of camera that existed. Long before digital sensors or film, people used camera obscuras to aid their painting and their drawing. And they were basically very simple lenses, or even a pinhole, to actually project an image inside a darkened area. A fairly basic question to ask this is that if the hole is really, really small, what's its f-stop? What is it equivalent to? Well, the f-stop of a lens is defined by the focal length divided by the internal diameter. I've measured the plane of this pinhole against the plane of the camera, and on a full frame camera it appears to have a focal length of about 50 millimeters. The internal diameter is 0.25 millimeters. 50 divided by 0.25 will give me an f of around 200. So I can consider this to be the equivalent of f200, but that isn't terribly accurate because it will depend on which camera you've mounted the pinhole on. I've tried this camera on a full frame camera, the Nikon D600, and I've tried it on a crop sensor, a micro four thirds sensor, which is the Olympus OND EM10 Mark III, and the distances are different, so this is just a little bit of a guessing game really, but effectively it makes no difference. You're going to talk about long exposures, maybe possible to handhold at high ISO, but in some of the pictures that I'll be showing at the end of this video, the exposures were about 15 seconds long. The images are very soft and it's not very usable for a lot of purposes, but I quite like the effect. After I played with it for some time, I decided that I was going to play on the strengths of it. I quite like intentional camera movement, which is to say moving the camera through a long exposure. Normally I achieve that by using 10 stop neutral density filters over the lens of my camera, and that allows me to shoot exposures of several seconds long. With the pinhole, of course, as the effective f-stop is so small, then a lot of my exposures are going to be in the several seconds category anyway. So basically, as you can see from the picture at the end of the slideshow, I've basically panned the camera upwards as I took the shot. That blurs and elongates all the verticals, and I quite like the effect.